Have you ever noticed that a sharp pain or a nagging discomfort in your lower body is making you walk a little slower, or maybe you find yourself hesitating to sit down for a long lunch with friends because you are worried about the ache that follows? It is so easy to blame it on a bad back or just getting older, but what if I told you that a small, often ignored issue could be the hidden reason you are losing your mobility, and that ignoring it for just a few more months could lead you straight to an operating table? It might not just be the natural wear and tear of aging that is slowing you down. There could be a specific daily habit or a common food you think is healthy that is actually causing your discomfort to skyrocket. It is a topic many of us feel a bit shy about discussing, but it is the secret culprit behind why so many seniors lose their independence and end up facing surgery that could have been completely avoided. In this video, we are going to uncover the 6 critical reasons why delaying hemorrhoid care is a risk you cannot afford to take, and I will show you exactly how to turn things around today so you can regain your strength and your freedom. Before we jump in, if you care about staying healthy and independent, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications, because we share the kind of senior health tips doctors often overlook. And let me ask, are you watching from the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, or elsewhere? Drop a comment below with where you are from, because I am always curious how far our senior health community reaches. It is wonderful to have you here, and it is truly never too late to make a change for the better. Let us start with the first major mistake, which is what I call the bathroom marathon. You might think that sitting on the toilet and scrolling through your phone or reading the newspaper is a harmless way to get some peace and quiet, but for a senior body, this is a recipe for disaster. When you sit on a toilet seat for more than 5 or 10 minutes, gravity is working against you in a very specific way. Because the seat is hollow, your rectal area is unsupported, and the blood vessels there begin to swell and engorge like a garden hose with a kink in it. As we get older, the tissues that support these vessels naturally lose some of their elasticity and strength. Science tells us that by age 60, the connective tissue in the pelvic floor has significantly less collagen than it did in our 20s. This means that every extra minute you spend sitting there is putting a massive strain on those delicate tissues. Imagine a bridge that is already aging, and then you park a heavy truck right in the middle of it for an hour every single day. Eventually, that bridge is going to sag and fail. Many people report that after these long sessions, their legs feel heavy or tingly, and that is because the pressure is affecting the local circulation and nerves. If you find yourself doing this, please try the 5-minute rule. If things are not moving, just get up and walk around for a bit. Walking stimulates the natural contractions of your gut, and it is much kinder to your body than staying parked on the porcelain throne. Moving on to number 2, let us talk about the fiber trap. We have all been told to eat more fiber, but doing it the wrong way can actually make your hemorrhoids much worse and lead you closer to surgery. Think of fiber like a dry sponge. If you put a dry sponge into a narrow pipe, it is going to get stuck and cause a massive blockage. But if you soak that sponge in water, it becomes soft and slides right through. Many seniors increase their intake of bran or whole grains, but forget to double their water intake. When you are over 60, your kidneys and your thirst signals are not as sharp as they used to be, so you might be dehydrated without even realizing it. This creates hard stools that act like sandpaper on your internal lining, causing microtears and inflammation. A study published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology found that seniors who increased fiber without adequate hydration saw a 30% increase in rectal pressure and discomfort. To avoid this, try a simple trick I call the water first rule. For every serving of fiber you eat, drink a full 8-ounce glass of water immediately. It keeps the sponge soft and protects those sensitive veins from being pushed to the breaking point. If you thought that was surprising, the next one might really shock you, because it involves the way you breathe. Now, let us talk about the third culprit, which is the hidden pressure of the breath. Have you ever caught yourself holding your breath when you are trying to lift a heavy grocery bag, or even when you are straining in the bathroom? This is known as the Valsalva maneuver, and for a senior, it is incredibly dangerous for your rectal health. When you hold your breath and push down, you are creating a massive spike in internal pressure. Think of it like a pressure cooker with a blocked valve. That pressure has to go somewhere, and it usually shoots straight down into the pelvic veins. This can cause a small, manageable hemorrhoid to suddenly balloon into a grade 3 or 4 prolapse, which often requires surgical intervention. It is not just about the pain either, because this sudden pressure can also affect your heart rate and blood pressure. Instead of holding your breath, try the blow as you go technique. Whenever you are exerting effort, whether it is standing up from a low chair or during a bowel movement, breathe out slowly through pursed lips. This releases the internal pressure and protects your veins from that explosive strain. I know it sounds like a small thing, but your body is always trying to heal, and small changes in how you move and breathe can be the difference between a comfortable afternoon and a trip to the emergency room. If you are finding these tips useful so far, please give this video a thumbs up because it really helps spread the word to other seniors who might benefit. And if you have not yet, do subscribe for more little-known health insights, because we are just getting started on this list. The fourth major factor is something we call the sitting epidemic. Many of us, as we get older, find ourselves sitting for longer periods, whether we are watching a favorite show or working on a hobby. But sitting for hours on end acts like a slow, steady weight on your rectal veins. Imagine pressing your thumb into a soft piece of fruit for 3 hours straight. By the time you lift your thumb, there is a deep bruise. That is exactly what happens to your pelvic floor when you stay seated too long. This lack of movement leads to blood pooling in the lower extremities, which is why you might notice your ankles are puffy or your legs feel like lead by the end of the day. This poor circulation makes it almost impossible for existing hemorrhoids to heal because they are not getting the fresh oxygenated blood they need. Picture a gentleman named Arthur who loved his recliner but noticed his discomfort getting worse every week. He thought he was resting his body, but he was actually starving his tissues of circulation. Once he started the 10-minute stroll rule where he got up to walk around the house every hour, his pain began to fade within just 2 weeks. You do not need to run a marathon, but you do need to keep the blood moving to prevent those veins from becoming permanently damaged. This leads us to our fifth point, which is the danger of the ointment trap. It is very tempting to just reach for a cream or a medicated wipe and hope the problem goes away. While these can provide temporary relief, they often mask the underlying inflammation and allow the condition to progress in secret. Some over-the-counter creams actually contain ingredients that can thin the skin if used for too long, making the area even more prone to tearing and bleeding. It is like putting a fresh coat of paint on a wall that has a leaking pipe behind it. The wall might look better for a day, but the rot is still spreading. Science shows that chronic inflammation in the rectal area can lead to fibrotic tissue changes, which is a fancy way of saying the tissue becomes scarred and stiff. Once that happens, creams cannot help, and surgery becomes the only option to restore normal function. Instead of just treating the surface, we need to look at the root causes like diet and movement, which we have been discussing. Moving on to the sixth and perhaps most important point, which is the reality of the delay. Many seniors wait until they see bright red blood or feel a significant protrusion before they seek help because they are embarrassed. But here's the thing that I want you to understand. Hemorrhoids are categorized in grades from 1 to 4. At grade 1 or 2, we can almost always fix the problem with simple lifestyle changes and non-invasive treatments. But once you reach grade 4, the tissue has lost its ability to retract, and that is when the surgeon has to step in. Delaying care does not just make the symptoms last longer, it actually changes the type of treatment you will need. Surgery in your 70s or 80s is much harder on the body than it is in your 50s because healing takes longer and the risk of complications is higher. According to research from the Mayo Clinic, seniors who address pelvic health issues at the first sign of discomfort have a 90% higher success rate with home-based care compared to those who wait 6 months or longer. Knowledge is power, and now that you know how these stages work, you can take charge before the situation becomes an emergency. Remember that growing older does not mean you have to accept pain as a way of life. It means using smarter strategies to keep your body running smoothly. To recap what we have learned today, we need to avoid the bathroom marathon and stick to the 5-minute rule. We must balance our fiber with plenty of water to keep things moving softly. We need to practice diaphragmatic breathing to avoid internal pressure spikes. We must break up long periods of sitting to keep our circulation flowing. We need to be careful not to rely solely on creams that hide the problem, and most importantly, we must act early to avoid the necessity of surgery. By following these steps, you are giving your body the right environment to heal itself. I know that talking about this can be difficult, and I know that dealing with bodily changes as we age can feel frustrating or even a bit scary, but I want you to feel empowered because you have more control over your health than you might realize. Your body is a wonderful machine that is constantly trying to repair itself, and when you make these small adjustments, you are giving it the tools it needs to succeed. Imagine being able to go for a long walk in the park or sit through a movie without a single thought of discomfort. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with knowing you have taken care of your health and avoided a trip to the operating room. That freedom is worth every small change you make today. You are not alone in this journey, and it is never too late to start feeling better. every meal where you choose to drink extra water every time you remember to breathe while lifting, and every short walk you take is a victory for your future independence. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed a connection between your habits and how you feel? Share your story or any questions in the comments below, because I read every single one, and our whole community benefits when we share our experiences. What is one small change you are going to make today after watching this? Let us know, because your plan might be the exact inspiration someone else needs to hear. If this video helped you or opened your eyes, please hit the like button because it really helps us reach more people who need this information. And if you have not already, please subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on our science-backed tips for thriving in your golden years. If you are still with me and determined to stay strong and avoid surgery, type A1 in the comments to affirm your commitment to your health. If you have doubts or questions, type a 0, and I will do my best to provide more clarity. Your voice matters, and we are all in this together. Keep taking those small steps for your health, because they truly add up to giant strides in your freedom. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember that your independence is worth every bit of care you give yourself. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.